Hi, everybody. Welcome to Timestamps in the Description podcast. There are timestamps in the description. If I read another Spotify complaint about how we talk too long at the front, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to rename I'm going to change the cover art. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, maybe we need to put that in the cover art.
I've written it at the top of the description. Timestamps below.
I guess, but maybe people don't look at the description, I suppose.
That's fair.
So this was a Spotify review? I can't see
comments.
the Spotify reviews.
Comments.
Oh, there's comments on
I read the comments. I love thanks for everyone who replies to the polls and leaves your comments. I leave them all. I publish almost all of them, but sometimes you guys are haters.
Oh.
And you will not be disrespecting nobody in those comments. You can disrespect me, but not Shannon.
They were disrespecting me?
Sometimes, not that I can remember, but they have said shitty things about guests. They'll be like, I like this usually, but this guest was stupid.
Oh, really?
You don't need to say that.
Yeah.
You don't need to say that.
Haven't you guys ever heard if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all?
I think, DM me. If you hear a guest and you're like, I really didn't like that guest. Again, it's a substantial criticism though. It can't just be like, I didn't like their voice. Nah.
Well, speaking of, we've been having complaint. Well, just one complaint so far that I've gotten about my vocal fry. And guys, I hate it too.
Do you though? I thought you liked it. You don't like it?
Well, it's annoying. Remember I was saying I was listening back to, I was on Right Answers Mostly podcast, shout out. And so I'm telling a story because I'm taking their podcast is about like historical events. So I took them through a story. So I was talking a lot more. Right. And so I was just like, oh my God, the vocal fry is on fleek right now. I don't know if the kids are saying that anymore.
That's over with.
It's an old reference.
Yeah, that's like that.
That's an old reference.
That's like that.
But so I looked up ways to stop because my acting teacher has also told me that I need to work on it.
Can you? Yeah, I like when you do it. When you do like
I don't do
vocal fry mode, it's trippy.
Am I doing it right now? I don't think I'm doing the vocal fry as much. I have to talk in like a higher register for it to not
That's one of the
happen.
tips, right? Higher.
Yeah, they said the number one tip was talk in a higher register. So I could talk in my waitressing voice. Hi guys, and welcome to AITA Pod. I'm Shannon D. Today we are going to be talking about a lot of awesome, interesting stories.
I'm afraid of her. I respect her. I'm afraid of her. I don't like her.
You don't like her, no. The other thing too is that it comes out a lot more when I'm like sick or tired. And I'm always sick and tired of you.
Did you write that? What the fuck? That was brutal. That was a great line. That was damn. That was good. Wow.
But and I've been like a little bit like you were so taken aback.
I thought you wrote it. I was like, I never heard you drop that kind of fire. That was sick. You got me.
And so I have been having a little bit of like a throat thing recently, so it's going to be really bad today. I'm sorry to who said that they don't like my vocal fry.
No, it's good. I like it.
But I'll try and work on it a little bit because I do need to get rid of it. But I'll just...
For acting.
Yeah, because actually this one show I was in, I like heard it back and I literally was like, it was like so bad.
I was thinking that it's because you speak slower. Mm-hmm. Because it's lower, I guess, too. But you do speak a little slowly.
Do I?
I don't know. Maybe I'm doubting myself as I say that.
No, I guess maybe I do. If I get charged up, no.
Yeah.
I guess I don't get charged up too often.
I read this thing of like, when you speak slowly, it's like calming for other people. Like, I don't know, it rings true. It's like whenever people are getting like really, really fast, I'm like, okay, it sounds like you really need to be heard. It sounds like nobody's been listening to you for some time. And it's because you're very hard to listen to.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know.
Vocal fry. I mean, I think it's funny that people, it's also like to me like this thing of like when people can glom onto something, they'll just hit it just because it's there. Mm-hmm. You know, like their personality sucks. So they're just like, yeah, or I hate her vocal fry. Somebody wrote that on Reddit. It's like, shut up.
No,
I think I have an objectively like kind of annoying voice. Like it's not very deep for a man. It's got a little bit of this like this guy right here. It's just got this little annoying part.
Yeah. Is my voice deeper than yours?
Yeah, probably. Of course. You're taller than me. Deeper voice. You're the man.
more
You're the
manly
man.
in general.
This relationship, you're the man.
I wear the pants,
I'm
honey.
this guy. I'm this little guy here. One time when I was editing, I used to edit podcasts for Betches, and I think you know that, but that's how I met Sarah.
Oh.
And this woman came in one time. I totally forgot everything else about her. All I remembered was she had the nastiest sibilance, which is the term for that sound. I could not begin. It actually hurt my ears to listen back to it. And she would put it, it was like in weird places too. She would be like, yeah, I have a cat. And I was like,
Not
ow.
even with an S word?
It would like come out more than you would expect. Like it was weird. Like like I feel like she had some kind of like a, not like a tick, but just like, she's like, yeah, I'd love to go to the store. So anyway, like she hit maybe she said
So like, yeah. Well, I definitely understand because like you can't help what noises annoy you, you know? And so I can understand how like a vocal fry could be grating on some people. I followed this one girl on TikTok and her voice like literally is like this. And it's like, it is hard to hear her
girl.
Yeah. It is hard to listen to it sometimes. So, you know, if I'm doing that for other people, like I can understand how it would be annoying, but I'll try and talk on my voice, I think is what my acting teacher says a little bit more. It's like,
get on your voice.
So maybe I'll try that on this episode, although I've been having this throat thing, so it might not go too well. We'll try. We will try.
Come on over, Sean.
Ladies
Come on
and
over,
gentlemen.
Sean. To me, it's giving frog. It's so low. It's like,
Mine?
Come over, guys, and eat some bugs.
guys.
Who wants to eat bugs by the light? Anyway, shout out to Elise, our listener. I did a show in Modesto. I had some fun. You know what they call it? Meth-desto. It's because they've got a big meth.
Where is that? Like the middle of California?
It's like an hour and a half from San Francisco. And so I went to the city. They call it the city. I'm like, no, guys, this is not the city.
They call LA the city?
No, they call San Francisco the city.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that theory, though.
What's the theory?
Well, that New York is the city.
New York is the city. This is a city.
Yeah, but we're 3,000 miles away.
That's fair. That's a fair point. It would be weird if they were saying the city and they meant a place thousands of miles away.
I was watching the Kardashians, and because they live in Calabasas, they call LA the city. Like they're like, oh, like you always come to the city, and I would be like, what are they talking about? And I would think actually that they were talking about New York. I'm like, are they talking about when they go to New York? But they're just referring to LA as the city.
Well, we would say that in like, you know.
But I guess that's what I was saying about like how we would call Philly the city. But I just don't think of LA as a city. Like it's just so widespread.
No.
But anywho.
I actually saw this in your bathroom, no less. You have like a San Francisco themed bathroom.
Oh, yes. Well,
Yeah, what's up with that?
So Max is from San Francisco.
Oh, no shit.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's from the city. And my grandparents actually, like, they were very big on like just souvenirs and getting artwork from places that they would visit.
Oh, that's cute.
And so when they passed away, like anytime that they would have San Francisco stuff, like we have San Francisco mugs from them and like that postcard up there and those photos.
That's the postcard. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's
the crookedest
Lombard
road in the world.
Street.
Oh, yeah.
Lombard. I don't know how you say it. And I was riding my one wheel all around San Francisco. Okay. I had a time of my life. And let me say, I kind of had a bad impression of the old Franny Sanny.
Really?
But yeah, because I guess I'd always stayed downtown and I thought it was very dirty.
Oh, okay.
But I rode into the Golden Gate Bridge Park and we were in the Marina District. And
that's where he lives around that area.
It was so great. Anyway, I went to Chinatown and then on the way back, I went up Lombard Street because we were staying on it and I ran into the Lombard switchbacks.
Yeah.
People just call it Lombard Road, but it's a long road.
Yeah, the crookedest road in the world.
Yeah. And so to just paint a picture a little bit, imagine like a S-shaped curve of a road that's like extremely steep. And I was on my old one wheel and it said wrong way. And I said, maybe it's the right way. And I went the wrong way up Lombard Street.
Oh, you went up?
I went up.
So it's a one-way going down.
It's a one-way going down. And people looked at me and they were like, this fucking guy.
Yeah, I
But
bet.
one guy was using his phone. He like had his phone in one hand driving. And then I gave him a rock on and he threw it back to me. And I was like, hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
He knows.
So AITA for taking the Lombard switchbacks uphill on a one wheel.
I don't think so. You didn't hurt anyone. NTA, whatever. Sometimes rules are meant to be broken. I actually just went down a one-way the other day because I didn't feel like going.
In a car?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It was like just one of us, like a side, really like.
And you knew no one was going to
street.
come because that's when it could be.
I figured, but if they did, I would have just been like, whoopsie, didn't know. Like pull over real quick. But I had a feeling I'd be okay. NTA.
Yeah, great weekend. Elise was like, it was me, Elise, my friend, Tony Bartoloni, who featured on the show. He's a funny comic. And
I know him.
You know Tony?
From you, but he would come to Not Too Polished.
Oh, yeah. He came to the waffle party.
To my open mic.
Yeah.
My show.
So he's a classic character. We got to do an ep with him at some point. He used to live in a factory, which it's as
really
absurd as it sounds.
As a kid or like a young adult?
No, as like an adult. He lived in a factory. Anyways,
wait, what did they make?
That's a good question. I didn't actually ask that. Wow. See, you're already ready for the interview.
Men never ask the right questions. I swear.
Okay, fair enough.
Max never asks any follow-up questions.
No? Okay, give me an example. Like, just start to tell me something. I'll be Max.
Okay. I'm going to a wedding this weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wedding's good. You're going to have a lot of fun. I don't know what I thought was going to happen next. It doesn't move forward.
I'll be the next day, it'll be like he's telling me a story that he found out someone was going to a wedding. I'm like, well, whose wedding? Where is it? And he doesn't know anything. He never knows anything.
Because he didn't ask when he got the information.
Ask.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I think it's a very common trope. I've been finding that the women are complaining about their men.
Not asking
a single follow-up question.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm just like, if I'm going to someone somewhere, I'm just like, well, I'll find out as I go.
Yeah,
I don't really need a briefing on this. I'm just happy to be invited.
Yeah, I get that, but it's not about. It can be literally about anything. My brother and his girlfriend broke up. Well, why? I don't know. I didn't ask. You didn't ask.
Okay, that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
I would have asked.
Okay,
I would have had questions about that.
You're more on the. You like the hot goss.
I love a hot goss. Let's figure it out together. Great weekend of shows. Then I kind of went into this on the bonus, but I had a show in Santa Clarita. Oops, it was actually somewhere else, half hour away. We went to the wrong venue. Whatever.
Well, owned by the same person.
It was owned by the same person, so you can get more juicy deets on the But I had to tell you this quote because it was me and Tori, who's very funny. She was just on the show. You guys remember her. And after the show, this woman she was a good audience member, she was paying attention. She was like, Tori has a boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, he's really cool. I've actually hung out with him. She's like, huh. So you just take her around though and do what you want with her? And I was like,
what?
Ma'am, we're touring comedians.
Yeah, this is our job right now.
Know what you think I don't know what you think you're saying.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, I had 15 pounds of beef jerky for lunch. Oh. And I farted at this point and it was beyond noxious. I don't know. Wait,
what do you mean?
It was biohazard. I was smelling it and I was like, wow. It's how sometimes you have a fart and you're like, that's my fart. It is what it is. But this was I got to get away from my own fart. This thing is nasty.
You couldn't even, it's bad when you can't stand your own fart.
Oh, it was this was a room clearer. And so she's still trying to have the conversation.
Wait, but it wasn't loud.
No, it was a silent. It was a silent killer. Yeah. And she's still yeah, no, she's like, no, I didn't mean, she was kind of being no, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it is her boyfriend comfortable with it? And I was like, that is what you meant. You're admitting that's what you meant.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Do what you want with her.
What? are you talking about?
Strange.
You are insane, lady. I think she was also hammered in her slight defense. But then I told Tori this story. I was like, you're not going to believe what this woman said. And she goes, I smelled that fart and that's why I went to the car. I was like, good
She
God.
walked away.
She walked away, got the fuck out.
Poor woman just had to stand there.
Yeah, and it went on for a while. We were both
It didn't really clear.
It didn't really clear. It was a kind of stale air.
Yeah. Well, you just farted in my bathroom too, remember?
But that was nothing. That was
it was just a noise.
That was fireworks. You know what I mean? That was nothing. Well, because so sometimes I felt weird because you went to the bathroom first. So I heard you pee. Like, and then I kind of sometimes if I'm self-conscious, I'll put on music.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want people to hear me pee.
But you don't think it's weirder that like I would just be sitting here and then you turn on music while you're going to the bathroom?
Well, juxtaposing it, I thought was weird. I was like, she just peed without music. So now I'm kind of implying something. I didn't want to get into it. So I thought, obviously the rules are we can just pee and that's what it is. It's not just the sound of water.
Interesting. Yeah.
You've never had that impulse to put on music so that people can't hear
Never
your
even thought of that. I mean, I've heard of
system.
I mean, I guess if I'm like pooping, I'll turn on the faucet.
Oh, you'll just run the water.
Yeah, have you ever heard? People
I've
do
heard of that. Well, I figure like that's a waste of water.
It is, yeah. And so that's why I normally like never do that unless I guess I'm like close by.
But you would just run water. You've never done this play music.
I've never even heard of
this.
that.
This is an innovation, people. Play music.
Wow.
And then if they're like, oh, what was going on in there? You're like, I was doing my makeup and, whatever. Then you don't even have to acknowledge it.
Yeah, but what would you have said? Like, oh, I was just playing music. I needed to hear this song.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm stuck. I can't.
I guess you could have just been like, oh, I was like watching a video.
Yeah, I was watching the music video. You're watching the music video for an EDM song? Yeah, I was curious about it's weird. It's like a lot of colors. It was a clip from a rave. I was watching a clip from a rave. I was watching a clip from a rave from your bathroom, multiple clips from raves for 12 minutes in your bathroom. Just normal stuff that normal people do.
Yeah, I really think that would have been so much stranger.
All right. Well, should we get this thing started? Guys, please rate, review, and subscribe. Join us on Patreon. What if it was in Spanish? That could be fun.
What, Patreon?
Patreon.
Actually, I have something to say.
Oh, here we go.
So remember like episodes ago, we were all kind of like ripping on people for saying the names of places with like a Spanish accent, like stopping all of a sudden. Yeah. Well, I realized after I was listening to the episode where we were talking about France, is I was totally doing that with like Biarritz and Pete de Bayon. And like my sister and I were talking about it. She was like, yeah, you guys were saying how you hate when people do that. And then you literally did that. I was like, I know. Santa Clarita.
Yeah. Well, I've always made a point of saying I don't have a good personality, so I'm not here to dictate.
No.
But but I think the criticism is when you go order. And then you're like, yes, I'll have the fettuccine alfredo.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, I think, is the crime.
I had a friend that did mozzarella. I'm like, can we not?
I thought you were saying Mussolini until the very last second. I'm like, whoa, what is he ordering?
Mussolini.
Get the Mussolini. Jesus,
on top
man.
Of my fettuccine.
The trains run on time. Okay. Our second story of the day, folks. AITA for ruining. Oh, wait. Join us on Patreon. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, Patreon.
Rate, review, subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Shannon's killing it on YouTube. I think we're doing really well there.
Really?
It's pretty impressive. Yeah, we've got our subscribers are going up.
Oh,
anyway,
sweet.
Subscribe on our YouTube. We post the videos of the episodes. Shannon's posting YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, TikTokies. Instagrams.
Yeah,
check it out.
And also pics of AITA too. We not just videos, but
oh yeah,
we do the graphics,
the Reddit posts,
in case you want to read and not hear.
Sometimes it's time to read and not hear.
Sometimes you can't have the noise on.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the bathroom and then you want to watch the reels to cover up the farts.
Exactly. You know what? Listen to the podcast instead of letting people hear you take a number 2.
Exactly.
Come on, people. That's what we're recording for.
And then we'll just make noises like
he's pooping. He's pooping. He or she is pooping, man. That's what's happening. They're not listening to a podcast. They're trying to cover it. We just blew up their spot. So anyway, over 180 bonus apps. Join us on Patreon, $5 a month. There's so many freaking episodes. They're all ad free. It's a banger. Get it for people as a gift. I'm actually Shannon.
The holidays.
I got news. Get ready for this.
What?
I'm doing my first Cameo. Somebody emailed me. I'm not actually using the Cameo app or whatever. I'm just going to trust them.
Oh.
And yeah, they're going to pay me $50 to whatever. They gave me all these details about their wife. I almost wanted to charge more. This guy gave so many details.
Oh,
but
that's
I said 50.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what to do.
I know.
I don't know what to do.
Well, maybe we can brainstorm after.
He did a thorough job. You got to give this man credit. He knew a lot about his wife.
That's very
A man
sweet.
knowing 20 facts about a wife is like, wow.
He
did the work.
It's above and beyond. You should do it on your one wheel.
I have to, right?
Yeah,
I have
that's
to.
your signature.
Second story of the day, AITA for ruining my boyfriend's dinner plans with his parents. But first, here is Shannon.
AITA for taking back a gift and selling it on eBay. I, 25F, used to be in a toxic relationship with David, 28M. During a point in the relationship when things were going well, I foolishly decided to purchase a very expensive gift for my partner, a $2,000 gaming laptop. Just before this big purchase, we ended up moving in together. I paid for everything: rent, utilities, security deposit, and all the move-in costs. We also had a roommate, and she paid me back in full relatively quickly. However, my partner did not. Over the course of the next few months, I ended up having to cover him financially for many different things, including partial rent when he fell short. Even though we clearly discussed, I was 100% expecting to be paid back. He never did. When we decided to go our separate ways, I asked him several times to come up with some sort of plan for paying me back for everything he owed me, which was $1,200. He said he did not have the money. I had no intention of getting me the money because he didn't know how he could. At this point, we were still trying to figure out where everyone would go, but things were bad. So I moved in the living room and he was in the master bedroom. Instead of cutting my losses, I decided to take back the laptop since I paid for it. I waited until he was at work, took the laptop, and stored it elsewhere. I was very nervous about how he would respond, so I ended up swapping all of our things. His stuff I moved into the living room and mine into the bedroom, specifically so I could put a lock on the door. As soon as I had the opportunity, I sold the laptop on eBay for about $1,300. AITA?
This is the boyfriend. Yeah, like my ex is so crazy. She put all my shit in the living room and stole my computer. I didn't do anything.
She did?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Why would she do that?
Yeah, she's I don't know what's wrong with her. She's I don't know. She's just been really weird lately. She keeps asking me for money.
Why would she do that? I mean,
I know, right?
Are you pulling your weight?
Yeah. Oh no,
You were paying all the rent? Because I actually heard from Larry that
Larry?
She's been covering everything.
No, Larry's got eyes on her. I know he says he's gay or whatever, but he's
he likes her.
They have there's a thing going on there. She's working her thing on me. And
so she's giving you the runaround.
Yeah.
And now you're in the living room? That's not right.
That's not right, right? Yeah.
Wow. I really have been hearing other things in the streets about you guys.
She's doing that bad news rumor starting. Hey, can I borrow $100?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go.
Okay.
How do you owe someone this much money get the master bedroom? Or I don't know if it's.
Oh my God, I know.
Is it because is it one bedroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
whatever.
I mean, the roommate, I guess, had the small
bedroom.
Yeah, but yeah, to take, which actually, I guess we're not supposed to say master bedroom anymore. It's primary.
Oh, is it? I thought it was main.
Main. You can say main. Okay. Too. I think you can say both.
The main room.
But however, how are you going to take the main bedroom and put her in the living room?
Insane. I mean,
that if that just doesn't explain the dynamic, I don't know what does.
because like I need a big bed. Okay, I got a California
I'm a big
king.
guy.
I'm a big guy. Yeah. It turns into that TikTok filter like, I like a big bed.
Yeah, I mean, he's totally taking advantage of the situation. And I feel like he thinks because they were partners, and, you know, a lot of times like partners just end up splitting stuff. Like you're not going to be counting pennies and like,
Right.
you know, like I paid for this. And I mean, some relationships are set up that way, of course, but like for the most part, you kind of like see each other as like a team.
Right.
Like you pay for some things, you pay for other things. And it's not just like a 50-50 split. And so I think he's just seeing it as like, yeah, my partner was like supporting me for that time, even though that wasn't the setup. Like that wasn't what the agreement was. But I feel like that's what he's thinking. And he's like, yeah, well, that like I pulled one over on her. I got away with it. Like what? She was my partner. Like, what do you mean?
Yep.
And so I think that he just like, yeah, exactly what she said. I mean, he said it. He had no intention of paying her back.
Monster. Yeah, I mean, and then she gave him, I actually think that, you know, this kind of speaks to OP. You know, she does say it's a toxic relationship. So I understand, you know, I'm sure David has his issues. I've certainly depicted him in a manipulative manner.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a little wild to me. Like, how long was this relationship? You got somebody a $2,000 laptop?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Actually, it was because I cut
long?
this down a little bit. She said that it was 3 months into the relationship. And so that's why she was saying like foolishly. And they had only been dating. I think they only ended up dating like 9 months. So this was like a very quick, hot and heavy relationship. The fact that they moved in together.
That's honestly a red flag, even from her side.
Yeah.
That's too expensive of a gift. That feels like manipulative. You know what I mean? Like,
From her side?
absolutely.
Oh.
For that short of a you don't even know me.
Yeah.
You ain't even know me.
It's quite an intense gift. I mean, it could have fallen. I mean, yes, it's expensive. Like, yes, but also like, you know how sometimes people like end up dating at a weird time in the year, like, and then they start dating, say, in September, and then it's like Christmas comes around and you're like, oh shit, like,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I can see.
But I guess just like a $2,000 gift is like quite expensive.
I never got nobody nothing for $2,000.
No.
I gave my brother a laptop that I didn't want anymore. That was $800. That's the nicest thing. That's the only nice thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
$2,000? That's crazy. That's like borderline married status. Like that's a lot.
Yeah. I don't even think
You can't not. Here's what it
I've
is.
never gotten a gift that expensive, I don't think.
You can't not give a gift that expensive to anyone short of your like life partner or like well into the potential zone of a life partner and not be kind of manipulative about it. That's so expensive, unless you're a billionaire. But like, that's so much to give. You're going to expect them.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think you edited this out that she wanted to game with him, right?
Right.
Because she's a gamer. I think that's unhealthy. I think there's people that would be like, what? It's a gift. And it's like, nah, it ain't just a gift. That gift came with cables.
I don't know. I think a lot of times people are like, you know, seeking approval in their relationship and like wanting to put your best foot forward and maybe sometimes like overshooting, like, oh, look how great I am. I'm getting you this awesome gift. And like, so I don't know that I'm not fully on board that she was like trying to be manipulative. Like she did say that she didn't know how to game too much. So she was like looking for another way to bond with him. And like, if anything, I can see it like almost being manipulative on his part. Like, babe, like I really want this laptop. Like the gaming system's so great. And then she's like, okay, I guess like I could get it for you.
Well, if it played out that way, that would be very
different. I mean, I'm not ready to say whatever she did was manipulative because we just don't have enough info on that.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to hit that. That's not the case I'm building. I'm just saying, she said it was a toxic relationship. She didn't say he was toxic. And I'm just saying, I think sometimes people can bring the toxicity out of you. And I just think that that's an inherently unhealthy thing for a relationship. It's going to put strain on it.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm sure she's learned from this, like going forward,
Absolutely.
just to not, I mean, she says she foolishly decided to do it. So I think she understands that. But at the, you know, the situation at hand here is like, I honestly, after the way he's been treating her, like, I don't see anything wrong with what she did.
No, I feel like she had to do it. I mean, he's basically stealing money from her. He's not respecting it. He's saying like, you know, these were living expenses, right? This was the move-in cost. He paid rent, utilities, security deposit. Like, he was going to fuck her over. And so she sold the laptop.
And I guess the way that she could have gone about it in a better way, because he did say like, I don't know how I could get you the money. Like, she could have been like, I know how you can get me the money. Sell that fucking laptop that I got you. Like, I guess she could have done it in a more like upfront way. But then in that scenario, you do risk him being like, no, and then hiding it and, you know, never having that be the option. So I'd be like, I bought that fucker. I've got the receipt.
100%.
Like, you want to take me to court? Fine. Like, I can say it was for the both of us. It was our laptop in our apartment. Go fuck yourself. Like, you're not even trying to pay me back.
She has no reason to trust him.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't respect her. He's conveying that he doesn't respect her. He's saying, I had no intention to pay you back. You're a monster.
And I love that she switched their stuff.
Yeah, you get the room. If you're paying the rent, you get the room.
You have to.
Genderless person 18, ESH, he owed you the money, and in my opinion, getting the laptop back is the money he owed back, but stealing while he was at work is a bit childish. Have a conversation with him and tell him what your plan is. I'd also give him the $100 back you made extra. He owed you $1,200. No, you fool. That's not what was said.
No,
this
I don't
person
think
is a fool. What?
These are our listeners.
Genderless person 18 is our listener?
Yeah, this is a listener submission.
Oh, I forgot these are listener submissions. Okay. Let me just rework that. No, we're not going to cut it. I disagree with your statements, genderless person 18, but I really appreciate you listening. You're not a fool. I understand what you're saying. I believe that what OP was saying is cleared by the fact that this person was openly. Well, actually, no. Now that I'm actually a fool, and I'm not just saying this to back.
Okay, what?
The laptop. Why do we how are we justifying? The guy only owed $1,200, and the laptop sold for more, and it was a gift. So I feel like we have to justify why it's okay to ungift. And keep the extra.
Keep the 100.
Keep the 100.
The work into putting it up on eBay. That's the true. Work into not having the $1,200 for the past few months. Like the interest. That can be goddamn interest.
That's fair.
On it all. And fine. Also the purchase was a $2,000 thing.
So she still ate $700 on it.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they used it and like, you know, all of that. But like, I'm fine with keeping the $100. I think she earned it at this point.
It was a valid point, genderless person 18. I'm sorry for my harsh words. And OP, you're a listener as well. And I didn't mean to say you were manipulated, but I think, you said it was toxic. You said it was foolish.
He's backpedaling, folks.
No, but I'm just saying I would watch. I mean, look, I think you nailed it, actually. I think in their head, too, this was kind of the case. It was a gaming laptop for them to play games together. It didn't need to be a gift for him. It could have just been my second laptop. Kind of like I have 3 one-wheels and I'm looking for a couple.
No, you do not. You have 3?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh my God, Danny. Why?
I'm looking for a couple ladies to share them with, you know?
Yeah. That you can bring around and do whatever you want with them.
I'd fart. AITA for taking back a gift and selling it on eBay. I don't ever think this was close. I think this is NTA and he is.
Yeah. NTA, honey.
And I'm a little bit TA for what I said about our dear listeners. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Over 180 bonus episodes. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yep. And also with this whole episode we're doing, these are all listener submissions. So thank you for submitting. Yeah. If you guys want to submit yours, we've got a subreddit.
Reddit.com/r. No. Reddit.com/r/AITA pod. Boom!
And we will post some of them on Instagram and then cover some of them. And also everyone out there, even if you don't want to post, go on there and interact. Comment. Give them your opinion.
I left a little post about how I complained to Airbnb and I was just freaking annoying. I got $300 back.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's not bad.
Complaining works.
It does.
All right, guys. Here's me. AITA for ruining my boyfriend's dinner plans with his parents. I, 24F, have been seeing my boyfriend, 28M, for about 5 months. This last Tuesday night, we're getting intimate. We had a really weird miscommunication, which led me to need plan B. I couldn't get in the morning because my work starts, and after work, I had to go to an apartment tour at 4 p.m. So I ordered plan B with grocery pickup, and my boyfriend offered to come with me for support. While driving to the apartment tour at around 3:50, my boyfriend mentioned that his parents are in his town, and he wants to have dinner with them. I said, sure, but we have to do it after the errands. We view the apartment and head to the grocery store for the pickup. After 10 minutes of no one coming up to us, I call the number to check and it's busy. My boyfriend is getting antsy at this point and is saying stuff like, we should have just gone this morning. We should have just gone in and bought it. His mom calls it around 5:30 and asks if we're making it to dinner. My boyfriend says, we probably won't. I look on the pickup app and the order is for a different location. I'm ready to cry. I cancel my pickup and ask him to come in with me. He says, I don't really want to go in. I just want to go home. I say, I thought you came with me for this. And he begrudgingly got out and started walking ahead of me. We got to the display and it's locked, so we have to wait for someone to grab the key. Once I get it, I ask him if we need to pay at the pharmacy and he shrugs. I'm super flustered and say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. He said, I would have gotten on birth control 5 months ago. This fucking guy. I said, I need you to stop making snappy comments right now. And he went silent. When we got home, he stormed into his bedroom and closed the door. I walked his dog and came home and started to cry in his living room. Eventually, he came out, opened the patio doors, and his parents were outside. I got up and started making friendly conversation with them. We chatted with them for about an hour and they left. After, my boyfriend went back to his room and closed the door. I went to go rub his back and I asked him if he wanted me to make him dinner or order something. He grunted. This guy's literally an animal. So I went back into the living room and ordered takeout. I thought I would be nice and ordered takeout for him too. I went back into his room and told him I ordered his favorite dish and he grunted again. What the fuck is this? Eventually he came out, ate his food and went back to his room. I crawled into bed with him and scratched his back, but he wouldn't acknowledge me and rolled over and went to sleep. The next day I told him I don't want him to ever treat me like that again. And if he has a problem, he needs to talk about it instead of icing me out. Yep. He said that he only gets to see his parents like every 4 months and he really wanted to go to dinner with them. I said that he knows I had an appointment, that we had to get plan B to take it ASAP. And he only told me about the dinner an hour before. He said, well, you shouldn't have been dumbed and fucked around in the parking lot. You should have been on birth control 4 months ago. I got upset. I went back home and I haven't spoken to him since. AITA for ruining boyfriend's dinner plans with his parents.
This man does not deserve this woman.
Ooh, man deserve woman? Man good.
Like, she is being so sweet to him, ordering him goddamn food, rubbing his back. Like, I understand him being frustrated about the situation, but she made very valid points at the end of the post being like, you told me about this an hour before. You knew I had plans with this apartment tour and we had to take care of a very important thing in our lives, which is getting goddamn plan fucking B.
That you're responsible for, you fucking caveman.
Exactly. Like, why the fuck is this man acting like it is solely her responsibility for the birth control?
Fucking douchebag. Fucking douchebag.
And also, by the way, being on birth control comes with so many side effects. It is not just easy to like decide that like, yeah, I'm just going to go on birth control. Like, yes, okay, it's easy to decide. I'm saying it's not an option for everyone.
Right.
For so many reasons. I mean, financially, but for me personally, hormonally,
fucks you up, right?
fucks you up. It is not good for your body. Like,
for some people, yeah.
Look, I'm no doctor, but that is my point of view. Like, I have never.
It's bad for you.
It's so bad for me.
Yeah.
I've tried it. I was on the IUD for years, and that one was fine because it didn't have hormones, but it still came with side effects.
Right.
And then after that, I tried being on the pill like multiple times, and I was like depressed, having panic attacks, and another time like angry. I was so angry.
Oh my God.
And like a miserable human being. Yeah, it was bad. And so there's so many reasons why it sucks that women primarily are the ones that have to be on birth control. Because really the only other option is like condoms. And like, you know, men are always like, oh, it doesn't feel as good. It's like, fuck you. It doesn't feel good to be on birth control.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, I mean, there's ones that like, the IUD is in you and there's the arm one and there's the NuvaRing. But for the most part, then you have to take a pill every day.
Right.
It's so much responsibility for a woman. And I don't know why he's fucking badgering her about it.
Yeah, no, he's a monster. He's being a piece of shit. Plan B also very intense experience.
Yeah.
Really shitty.
Which actually, I just found out that if you're ovulating, so Plan B apparently stops you from ovulating, but if you're already ovulating and you and your partner have a slip up, like the Plan B will not work. Did you know that?
My understanding was it works for a window of only 72 hours, but I don't.
Yeah,
I haven't.
but if you're already ovulating,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've just.
That's what you heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just feel like he's being extremely self-centered here and doing this thing of like, you should have been on birth control, say nothing of how unempathetic that is toward taking birth control. It's also like, yeah, cool. I guess I'll just use the time machine you have, you fucking idiot.
Exactly.
Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, what is she supposed to say to that? And yeah, I mean, this is just entitled. He's being so fucking entitled. He's being entitled to her body. He's not internalizing that the birth control will fuck her up. And then it's also like an hour notice for plans. Yeah. You're mad at me because an hour? No, fuck you. That's not how that works.
And also like, I guess... No, because like she wanted and she needed him there for support. But I was going to say, like, if it was that important to him, like he could have been like, but I guess they did go together. So that's not really a good solution. And that might have been wrong of him to like leave her to deal with this on her own too. But the parents ended up coming over. They were able to catch up with them. He ended up seeing them. It's like, why are you still mad?
Wait, he did end up seeing them?
Yeah, the parents came over. Like at one point he came out and he opened the patio doors and his parents were outside. I got up and we started making friendly conversation with them and we chatted with them for about an hour.
Oh, this fucking guy. And I'm like...
So it's like, you made it work.
This guy just sounds like he's making... Well, also, what... Really, your parents come every 4 months and it's that big of a deal, but yeah, the plans are made an hour before?
Yeah.
What?
I know. Like, how... Was this an impromptu trip or something?
The fuck?
And also, like, honestly, as an adult, like every 4 months is not too bad to be able to see your parents.
How far do they live?
There's a lot of people that like only see their parents like once a year.
I feel like they live 3 hours away or something where they're not often in the town. It's like, why don't you just drive over there, you fucking whiny baby?
I guarantee he doesn't.
Unencumbered chipmunk. Why couldn't your boyfriend pick up the Plan B while you were working? Or during the apartment tour? There really isn't a reason he didn't go with you to pick it up. And birth control isn't just your job to worry about. He should be just as invested in birth control as you.
Exactly. And OP responded to that, actually. She said, I asked him to pick it up and he said he didn't want to, but he would be happy to go with me. I was panicking a little bit about everything and wanted him to go with me to keep me calm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, picking up Plan B, having to take a pregnancy test, like any sort of situation like that is a very intense emotional experience. Like anytime I've ever had to like go to the pharmacy and get that stuff, it's hard. It's good to have your partner there for emotional support. But like, fuck you for not going and picking it up when she's at work because you don't want to. Yeah. Oh, man, this one's heating me up.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. This guy sucks.
I mean, I think this one was submitted like a month ago. So I'm sure at this point you guys have, made up. And I hope
not.
I hope
you broke up with this piece of shit. I'm sorry, OP.
At the very least, I mean, I hope that he like really came around and like apologized and really was like, I'm sorry, I was in my feels, like I was not being supportive of you. And if he didn't, like, if you guys brush this under the rug, like, I think it's worth, if you guys are still together, like talking about it and opening up this discussion again and being honest with them. Like, that was a very intense experience for me and you weren't there for me. Like, I was really flustered and you were prioritizing your parents over a mistake that we both made.
Yep.
That we needed to figure out a solution. And you were prioritizing you wanting to see your parents over the number one thing on the menu that day was get plan B.
Yeah, it needs to be
It was
done.
a time constraint.
There's a ticking time bomb here, sir.
He should have gotten it while you were at work and brought it to you at work. Like he should have been like going above and beyond trying to get you this thing. Because the other thing is you could have potentially had a kid.
Get it done, bro. And then here's my other ding on him. He's obviously a petulant man-child with the comments he made, but also this was silent treatment. You know, if he had said like, "Hey, I'm really angry about what happened. I take responsibility. I need some space. It's not fair to you. I know that. I'm just pissed. I'll get over it. I'm gonna go take a walk." That's fine.
Right.
But he just silent treatment. That's honestly, I'll drop the A word on that. I think silent treatment's abusive.
Yeah, it definitely can be.
Yeah.
I understand when people need their space for sure, but you have to be communicative about that.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm sure you could, guess that the reason why he was upset is because of the dinner, but like he wasn't even telling you why he was upset either. And he also kept being like, yeah, well, you like fucked around in the parking lot for an hour. She wasn't fucking around in the parking lot. She was trying to figure out, she had never done the grocery store pickup thing. She was trying to figure it out. She was flustered because it's an emotional experience.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
He's just not.
And he wasn't helping. Then why don't you be proactive and be like, look, let's just cancel the order and I'll run in and grab it for you. Like, no, I don't want to go in. I want to go home. I don't want to go and pick it up. Like, what are your reasonings? Because you're selfish?
Prick. Man-child.
Yeah, OP, right back in and give us a little bit of an update. We're curious. What happened? I hope it turned out good one way or the other.
The best way is if you broke up with him. AITA for ruining my boyfriend's dinner plans with his parents. Whopping NTA and huge. He is TA.
Oh, yeah.
Not even close.
Oh, my God.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe, join us on patreon.com. That is AITA pod. Let's wrap this thing up. Here is Shannon.
AITA for filing workman's comp when I know my employer doesn't have it. I have worked with an aerial arts studio for 3 years. We closed in March and reopened in July. When we were rehired, our employer filed us as 1099s. She misclassified us. Previously, we were employees. I fell from 8 feet onto my neck at a mandatory rehearsal, and the owner refused to call an ambulance. I ended up in the ER that night. My boyfriend called 911, and I took an ambulance there after debating because of cost. Immediately after I fell, one instructor followed protocol and asked my boss multiple times not to touch or move me. From the ER, the owner and I were exchanging kind messages, and I said I wanted to give props to the instructor who followed protocol. Well, she fired her that night, citing that she was disrespectful to her and undermined her. Half of the teachers quit the next day. When I asked if she filed workman's comp, she called me crying, saying she found out that morning she didn't have it. Later, she admitted she hadn't had it since we reopened and said that is why she didn't want to call an ambulance. I haven't received any paychecks or stubs, and she tells me I don't have a case because I didn't work enough. She wasn't paying for our rehearsal, so I wasn't on the clock, which was mandatory for all instructors. She sent out an email stating those who did not participate would be taken off the schedule. She has sent me 100 plus cruel texts and emails blaming me for the aftermath with our instructors. She accused me of suing her despite my reassurance that I had no desire to. Well, after a month of intense blame and verbal attacks, I filed. She will now be responsible for my bills and may face penalties for misclassification and not paying for workman's comp insurance. It has since come out that she's discouraged ambulance being called multiple times in the past. AITA? Oh my God.
This is like Patrick Bateman, but he doesn't work in finance. He works at an aerial art studio.
Yeah.
Like, you're a sociopath. Like, I mean, I don't know that much about aerial arts, but I know as people high up,
yeah,
obviously people are going to get hurt potentially doing that.
How do you not have workman's comp?
Is that so? I don't actually know the mechanic. What workman's comp is a specific kind of insurance.
Yeah. It's basically like accident insurance, I would say. I mean, look, I don't know exactly. Someone could correct us on it. But yes, it's like when somebody gets into an accident or hurt on the job, then the insurance covers for their medical bills. Yeah. You need that.
I don't
if you're in a physical fucking thing. Like, it's one thing if you have an office job. Like, yes, the risks of like, you know, getting hurt at like behind your desk are much slimmer than when you're climbing 8 feet in the air. That's
beyond parody. I mean, even if you have a karate thing, like you've got to have a dojo.
Totally.
You know, even a Mojo Dojo costs a house. Yeah, I said it, people.
He said it. He dropped it.
You got to have insurance to cover people getting hurt. I mean, that's a no-brainer to me. I can't speak to the workman's comp regulatory regime, but yes, you need that. That needs to be insured.
Well, I remember even when I did my web series a few years ago, I did it through SAG and they did require insurance, but like I remember talking to one of the SAG reps and they kind of like, maybe it wasn't the SAG reps, but somebody had alluded like, yeah, you probably don't need to get it. But then I was like talking to Max about it and he was like, honestly, it's probably just better to get it. So then you like that at least can be like not on your mind of like, if someone gets hurt on the job, it's like, then you have like insurance. What?
Did you get it?
Yeah, I ended up getting it.
I would think it was cheap because the chances are very low.
Well, I think it was like $2,000. So it was not cheap.
Wow. For your web series?
Yeah.
Damn.
But I was just like, I'm just going to do it by the book. And I also was like, it did help me like kind of not worry about, because like, you know, the pressure of like, I am like responsible for all of these people. And like, what if something happened?
And it was a bigger crew. I mean, how many people were on set?
Probably like 25,
I'd
say, or 20.
In a single day?
Including cast too.
That's a lot. No, that's
and then with the extras and stuff too. Yeah, there was
that's
like
a lot of people.
Okay. More if I had extra when the days we had extras. Yeah,
that's a big production.
Yeah, so it was just good to like to peace of mind. Like I can't imagine having a studio where literally people are like in the air.
Yep.
And not having some kind of, and what were you expecting to happen? What was she thinking? I mean, clearly she was just cutting corners anywhere she could.
Yeah, I think when people do this, I mean, Titan comes to mind, the submarine, you know, that exploded. It's like people thinking they're better. It's like, look, I understand like to a limited extent regulations like prevent innovation or whatever. But it's like actually, though, to a large extent, regulations have made everything fucking safe. And they're there for a reason because people have done shit like this before.
Right.
You know, and what she's doing is illegal, but it's deeply unethical above all. It's like you're endangering people financially, essentially, by doing this to them. And it's horrible. And I always see a lot, and that's what I saw with Titan as well. It's like, I don't need the rules.
Right.
We're doing it our way. We don't need that.
You
and
think
it's like,
you're above the rules.
Exactly. And that's exactly.
But if you're going uphill on the crookedest street in the world, you don't need the rules.
Listen. When I'm in San Francisco, I'm above the rules, baby.
Yep.
No. Yeah, but I'm not endangering anyone else.
No.
Right?
Totally.
If a car hits me, like I'm getting bonked.
Well,
you know?
I mean, I guess that did kind of endanger the car too in a way, but whatever.
Well, I could have damaged a vehicle.
Yeah.
I guess if they were in a convertible and then I flipped into the car.
Right. Landed on their lap. Meet cute.
Meet cute. That's a meet cute.
That's a meet cute.
You know what I mean? You don't need insurance for a meet cute. But yeah, I'm just like, how can you be so irresponsible and arrogant? And then of course it's no surprise. I mean, I am ready to throw, like, I feel like I've been hitting personality disorder town a lot today, but her reaction to this is just such a classic move, doubling down, then firing the person who did the right thing. Is
like, what's that about?
It's my way or the highway, baby.
I guess so, yeah. And I guess, yeah. Totally.
And everybody under her having principals who quit. Of course they quit. How could you possibly work for a monster?
That didn't want to call the ambulance. Like, I can't even imagine how that conversation would go. Like, no, let's not do it. Let's not do it. And then multiple times she's done that.
I mean, lady. What's even the argument? Like, there's no argument. You always call an
She probably
ambulance.
was just like, oh, you're fine. Like, get up. Like, you're fine. And that's why the other woman was like, no, like, let her. She needs to stay still. And so, yeah, that's what she's like, you undermine me. And like, maybe it was also trying to like I mean, I guess everyone was there, but I was almost thinking like she was maybe trying to like, when you try and get rid of the people that were like witnesses, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know that was
this
the case,
this lady's unhinged. How she manages a business is beyond me. I mean, how this place has existed for 3 years is beyond me, and I hope the city comes and shuts it down.
I know, and then the misclassifying them too, like as 1099s instead of W-2 employees.
Yeah, that's dicey. I mean, that's why I'm saying about this workman's comp, because I don't know about it. But yeah, either way, it's a no-brainer. Anytime,
like
physical,
maybe you don't need workman's comp.
You
if
need
you have
some kind of fucking insurance, though.
But there's but I mean, I feel like maybe there's different rules. So like maybe she wanted to do the 1099 because of like.
Well, yeah, I'm sure she said like, yeah, they're. I mean, if they're 1099s, maybe she doesn't explicitly have to have insurance.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like
so she wasn't breaking the law, but it's like, of course something can happen. I mean, I think it's, hey, welcome to Danny's gym. Yeah, if you hurt yourself while working here around all our equipment, which is known to endanger people, you'll personally be on the line. Yeah, that's the kind of person I like. I mean, come on, that's absolutely crooked.
I know. Are you gonna get workman's comp for when I'm setting up the tripods and stuff?
I mean,
what if it falls on my head?
That tripod weighs almost 10 pounds. You could get a big old. You get like one of those cartoon like.
Yeah, the
bumps coming out of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the badgering too, like the 100 plus texts blaming her.
Literally psychotic.
And also
100?
she said that she kept accusing her of wanting to sue her, and she was like, I don't have any intention of it. She put the idea in her head.
Yeah, reverse inception, blatant inception.
She literally did.
Yeah, I mean, that is your defense here, and I think that would be, I'm not a lawyer. Open and shut case, though. I mean, come on, you're at her studio in the course of your employment, and it's obviously danger, like in a dangerous thing. So this is a no-brainer.
No,
OP, I hope you're okay.
Should do this. I mean, like, and also I wanted to say that fuck the American goddamn health system, because she debated on calling an ambulance because of cost. Like, yeah, we all like have that exact fucking thought anytime, like, knock on wood, I haven't had to like do that, but I know if I got hurt, I would be like, no, like, can someone drive me?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't I mean, those ambulances are like $2,000.
That's crazy.
If not more.
I'm kind of laughing just because I've been really dangerously one-wheeling.
I know.
The going uphill on Lombard Street doesn't even rank. I've just been going really fast downhill and uphill and getting crazy.
I know.
I wear equipment.
Your videos, I'm like, wait, but you don't wear a helmet.
No, I wear. Oh, well, the ones when I'm telling a joke, I'm not going fast or anything.
Like when you do your videos, you take it off.
Yeah, well, when I do the videos, I'm just going slow. I'm going like 10 miles an hour.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. But like when I'm like gunning it at the canyons. Anyway.
Jeez.
AITA for filing workman's comp when I know my employer doesn't have it. This is one of the most openly sociopathic, dangerous people we've ever. Like, how are you going to be doing this?
Whopping NTA. And I'm glad that you did, because I know a lot of people's like, because actually my parents this happens with them a lot, is they kind of like let people walk all over them. Like they're like, no, like it's not worth the bother. Like whatever. Like I just feel like a lot of people are like that, like the opposite of you, of just like, it's fine. Like I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
And I'm like proud of her for actually doing it, because I would probably be more of that mindset, because I mean, that's how I was raised. It's just like, oh no, you're fine.
Nah, get him.
It's like, no, get him, especially if she's fucking badgering you like this.
Get him.
Get him.
Fuck him. And
I hope you're doing good.
So what? You're annoying. I'm annoying. So it's not that big of a deal.
Exactly.
It's your money and it's your life.
Right. You got that money, honey.
I think we agree on this. And yeah, I think that's the app, guys.
Yeah.
Is that it? Thanks so much.
Submish, honey.
Thanks for submitting.
Right in.
Reddit.com/r/AITA pod. You guys are gems and a half. We appreciate you. Looking forward to reading your comments, reading your DMs. Much love, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.